Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us on the Brummett Media channel. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, all that. Comment if you have anything to mention to us. We'd love to hear from you as well. There's a link in the description of every single video on the Brummett Media channel. In each video, there's a link in the description that will point you to it's called like a bio landing page. When you go there, it'll list the most relevant places where you can find us online and reach out to us, connect with us, message us, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So hopefully you'll have a chance to check that out. Today, we're going to be carrying on our conversation, which has been about a multifaceted marketing plan and some of our purple snowflake marketing techniques. Here's the book right here. You can see this is my display copy that I use in the office in the studio when we're doing workshops and what have you. Purple Snowflake Marketing, How to Make Your Book Stand Out in a Crowd can be found online on Amazon. And it also will help you create a marketing plan and a guide to help you with your writer's career as well. It's a very, very valuable book, has decades worth of information in there, of hands-on experience and education and research and all of that is in there. So, and on both sides, we have been both a member of the media as staff, and we've also been on the other side as authors, so working with members of the media. So we've seen it from both sides. We've worked both positions, and you get the benefit of all of that knowledge all in one resource. So I hope that you have a chance to check that out. Now, let's say you have, let's say you live in the area that you're going to be doing some kind of event. It doesn't matter what kind of event it is. It could be a fundraising event. It could be a reading, a book reading. It could be maybe you're volunteering with someone, some organization, and you want to make a media event out of it, meaning you're going to do press releases, you're going to do articles, you're going to do blog posts, you're going to do Facebook posts, you're going to, like, you have this plan, an action plan for this particular project, which you should have. Be sure to have an action plan for each project that you're doing. How can you work this project to make it the most effective, the most efficient use of your time? Can you regurgitate it long after that event has happened? Can you regurgitate it in some way and re-release it as new content on one platform or another, or in one way or another? So there's lots of ways of doing that. Does it strengthen your networking contacts, et cetera, and so forth? So using that event, that project, that activity to the, like, just really working it hard, and continuing to nurture it decades after it's been released. Okay, so, but let's say that you've had this event and it's in your area as opposed to outside the town. Now you're going to be doing marketing several weeks before this event. You're going to be there in person for the day, that, and you're going to be doing possibly end of the day projects. You also might be doing before projects, before the event, leading up to the event, right? So maybe all you're doing before the event is you're walking around to the local retailers within the up and down the street, across the street, you're introducing yourself, letting them know this event is happening. Should they like to drive some traffic your way, and see if they can do some networking? Would they like you to give away coupons? Do they have any kind of catch key or tchotchke, depending on how you want to pronounce it, that they want you to give out? Or there's lots of ways of networking with the local community in order to get that kind of activity going on before your project happens. And then after the project happens, you want to have a action plan. So how are you going to thank the people that were involved? Are you going to do it publicly? Are you going to, write a blog post about it, listing the people or the organizations or the businesses involved? Are you going to do a social networking, posts or social media posts? Like, what is your plan in regards to thanking the people involved? Maybe your idea is to go around after the event, and anyone that was involved in some way or drove traffic to your way in some way, you have maybe a box of chocolate, a box of, you know, gifts, like maybe little boxes of chocolate or something like that, that you just a little wrapped up thank you note on it or something like that, that you drop off, just a little something to say thank you for participating, reinforcing your relationship and making sure they remember you is really, really important, because return on investment, next time you're in that area, that neighborhood, that type of an event, you might be able to reconnect with those people and nurture that relationship in some way. So you might also want to be putting up posters and flyers on bulletin boards, seeing who might have a friendly window, a retail window that you can put something in. Maybe there's a waiting area like in an insurance place or something like that, and they don't mind that you put out a little something on their table or something along those lines. You never know where you can get a little bit of additional exposure for your event before and after the event. So make sure that you're not just thinking about during the event, oh, just this 1 hour event, book signing, and that's that. It's not that. It's a heck of a lot more. It's all the before stuff, all the after stuff. And then you have the opportunity of looking at the experience. Can I write articles now that I use as promotional articles? And I'm actually speaking about my experience of the event, some of the questions people were asking me, some of the things maybe I would change. I could, all these different angles about doing that event. Can I write some kind of article about it and then release that somehow through submitting it to blogs or article distribution or whatever? So each time you have an event, we want to have an action plan for the entire event, including your networking, right? Which is, kind of like an underground and direct sort of mixed in. There's the back door, can during the event, can we then get some additional out of them? Are we having a course? Do we have like a YouTube channel we were trying to drive traffic to? Is there something else that we can value add to to getting that contact there? And, we've had that experience with them, but we want them to reconnect with us in some way. So are we going to say, hey, come check out my blog, here's the address, come visit my YouTube channel, this is why, it'll answer your question, whatever it is that we can use to nurture our business in some way and make sure that those direct contact relationships that are momentary, we try to make those as rich and as elongated as possible, and hopefully being able to nurture that relationship for a longer period of time. Now, if you're looking at, say, maybe you're going to a local area, but it requires you to drive out there, and maybe the time of day that you're having the event, you're going to actually spend the night, then you're looking at maybe the next day type of marketing activities that you might want to key in to your action plan as well. If you're traveling to and from that place, that's a lot of traveling, right? So there's use of your car to claim on your taxes. You've got to keep track of all of that, right? But also you want to, every community, every bulletin board, every retailer that you're driving by is a networking contact lost. So the more times that you can stop and network and chat and find a bulletin board or whatever it is that you've brought with you. So you want to make sure you have a full action plan planned for that event, the during, the traveling, the after, the before, and the long after the event happened. How can you still work that? How can you still reach out to those contacts? Can you nurture those relationships that you built during that event in some way? So how are you going to work all of that? There's a plan for everything. Okay, so that's a little bit about the Purple Snowflake marketing technique. How are you going to make your book and yourself stand out among all this other competition that's out there? Okay, and not really competition, but more like so many things vying for the same attention. And I guess in that way, it's a competition. Okay. All right, so thank you everyone for joining us today for this little discussion, furthering the idea of a multifaceted Purple Snowflake marketing plan. Be sure to check out our book, Purple Snowflake Marketing, How to make your book stand out in a crowd, you can find that on Amazon. Just search for Lillian and Dave Brummett and in the book section, and you'll see all of our books listed there as well. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us.